रिया को क्लोज आ रहा है एकदम आई मीन ओनली फेस दिख रहा है मेरे को थोड़ा लिटिल दिख रहा है
थोड़ा पीछे जाऊं?
हाँ अब अभी थोड़ा डाउन करो हेडरूम
अच्छा,
हाँ अभी तो थोड़ा
अभी ठीक है?
फास्ट हाँ okay ready 10 9 8 7 6 5
थोड़ा पीछे जाऊं?
4 3 2 1 go
Welcome to Mana TV International. My name is Riya Agarwal, and today we will be talking about education. The current pandemic has definitely changed the way our kids are getting or our kids are learning, like a hybrid and remote learning. It's definitely quite a different way our kids are getting used to. So all these decisions that has been taken in current years or in the current year will affect the decisions that will be taken in future. And those decisions will affect our kids' learning. So sometimes the thing comes into our mind as a parent that who are the people who are sitting at the leadership level or at the decision making chair who are taking all these decisions or making all these policies for our kids. Are they capable enough of doing those? So let's discuss all these and much more with young and dynamic Yash Pandya. Yash is running for Edison Board of Education. He is product of Edison, grown up in Edison. So he knows what Edison student is facing, was facing, and will face in future. So let's listen from Yash. Welcome, Yash. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me on Mana TV, and I appreciate for you guys to give me this platform to express my candidacy and share some of my thoughts and plans that I have for the Edison Board of Education. So, as you had mentioned, um, I'm a product of our Edison Public School Township. So I've actually been in Edison my whole life. I've attended elementary school here, middle school here, and for my high school, thanks to the Edison Public School System, and I was fortunate enough to attend the Middlesex County Academy for Science, Math, and Engineering Technologies, which is currently the #1 high school in our state. Following which, I went to Rutgers Business School for my undergraduate education, and I'm currently a corporate professional, a entrepreneur, and I'm a very active community member in our Edison Township, which is one of the bigger reasons which inspired me to run for the Board of Education because I was a public school product of our Edison Township, but also being involved in the community, being involved with the adults, being involved with the students and kids in our community inspired me to run for our Board of Education.
Perfect. Nice to like get all this introduction. So the time, Yash, when you decided to fill that application, what clicked? Like, what was the vision that you had at that time? Like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the biggest things I saw with our Board of Education was, and being involved with the community from for a very long time, I saw that our Board of Education consists of strong leadership, experienced individuals, but the piece that was missing was the student input piece, and that's what I wish to bring for the Board of Education, and that's what inspired me to run. I felt that the Board of Education needed someone who was a recent graduate of our public school system, someone who has an eye and ear to the current students, the current parents, the current teachers to understand what really is required, not only from the student sense, but also from a perspective of how are we helping our stakeholders, which are the students, parents, and teachers, to maximize the educational standards we have, and how can the Board of Education further address those needs by truly understanding what should be done at the tactical level to create further transparency within our community by maximizing the value of our taxpayers' dollars.
Right. And I was definitely like, reading around through your websites and reading about you in different places. I saw your campaign revolves around students. That is
Right.
quite different than other candidates that I am like, I was just reading for them too. There was vendors, there was like tax money, budgets, but students' needs definitely is what I saw in your campaign. So can you
Right.
elaborate more on students' needs?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what is the way that I think about it is what is our perspective? What is the goal of the Board of Education? The goal of the Board of Education, in my opinion, is and should be is the growth and development of our students. And the vision statement of the Edison Board of Education is nothing less than excellence. And my perspective is, being a recent graduate, being a student, being a kid once in our Edison public school system, what is the most important piece to me and should be for everyone is the perspective of the development and growth of our students. And that's my platform, because to me, what I feel is we have to bring the focus of the Board of Education, the community, back to our students. We have to start working together for the growth and development as a community. The Board of Education is a fantastic function that is in Edison, that is focused on developing the educational processes. But the growth and development of our students should be an activity that everyone should work towards for, because the students are of our community, right? And students is what will help for Edison to have a brighter future. So that is the platform that I'm working on. That is a platform that is guiding my perspective, my vision, my thoughts, and my ideas. And students are the biggest thing and at the forefront of what every BOE member should be looking forward to, because the students is what the goal is. The students and the teachers and the parents is what we should be focusing on as BOE members when it comes to budgeting, when it comes to spending of taxpayer money. Because when the focus becomes to the students, the teachers, and the parents, we are maximizing the value that we are spending when it comes to the taxes. We're maximizing the value of taxpayers' dollars, right? And we're able to proudly say that we are spending it for the right reasons. We are spending it accurately, effectively, and we're creating that transparency within the system as well. So that is my perspective. My perspective is to bring the focus back to our students.
What? क्या हुआ रही
Lalesh,
हाँ हाँ बता
Yash ka bhi, I think, Yash, are you there, right?
Yeah, I'm here. Your screen is
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it was, so Lalesh, fine, right? We'll continue from here. You'll cut that middle portion.
okay, no issue, you can continue.
Okay, okay, perfect. So, should I start? Hey.
Hello?
Okay. Hey, Lalesh, should we start?
Yeah, okay, we can go.
Let me call him. Okay, perfect. Okay, nice to definitely relate you. Okay. Lalesh, I'm not sure why it's frozen.
I think your internet is very low. Slow. Right? We change the network. Wi-Fi or mobile network, whatever.
More people who need to be rehabilitated, more people who are homeless, more people who join the program, sign the paper saying, yes, I would like to be helped, either mentally or through rehabilitation from drugs, or at least to get off the street and learn another trade, or apprentice programs, computer programming, things that they can teach, and they'll go onto the they'll have all one-stop services there and they'll be ready to come right off the island. And we can do that with about $4 billion, which is a third of the money that they're offering. They want to build all these jails and everybody's, excuse me, everybody's there.
We have seen the CARES Act is because Congress is not agreeing for whatever Trump proposed, and they want the states to bail out the literally blackmail or something to COVID bailing out of the states. Your comments on the CARES Act, why it's not being passed by Democrats in Congress?
Can you repeat that question? Because
Trump doesn't want to bail out the states. And then Democrats are connecting the CARES Act with COVID money with bailing out the states. Your comments on that, please.
Okay, my comments on that. The HEROES Act is $3.4 trillion, which is double the amount of the last stimulus package that was given out. What the Democrats have proposed, and say passed in the House with also my opponent's approval, they're trying to say that we need this money, but obviously it's a Democratic wish list. Okay, it's the bailout is hidden inside the whole package. Is money that they're asking for to bail out all the failed systems that the Democrats have put forward and wasted money on. And yes, it is $3.4 billion. We're going to do that in a perfect world. But number one, who's going to pay for this? We already have a $2 trillion bill from the last stimulus package that's being added to the national debt. And we cannot sustain all this, keep the money and spend it, keep the money and spend it. That's the way the Democrats want to do it. And that's the way this city has been run. But they think that the taxpayers are just a cash cow that they can just keep upping the taxes on them and taking the money away from them and paying for it. Donald Trump is taking a stand, and which we agree with, I agree with, then yes, it has to be, if you're going to put out a COVID virus stimulus package, it needs to deal with just COVID virus issues that are in the country right now. And then the next time, we can pass a different bill if we have to. But at this point in time, with the national debt rising already almost $27 trillion, they add another 3.4 for no frivolous reason, because no one's being held accountable, is uncalled for. And we need to stand and fight and get people elected to take back the House so we can actually pass a bill that is for the American people to help them in this time of crisis. Because the Democrats are trying to play on everybody's feelings, saying, oh, they won't give us the money, they won't give we ask for it, they won't give it. But that's not the way it is. You can't just walk into a store and say, I want meat and fruit and vegetables, and have them give it to you for free. It doesn't happen. Someone has to pay for it. So by holding off on the bill and not voting it, not passing it at this time, we need to recraft something after the election, because obviously they're not going to come back into session until after the election. To do something like Donald Trump wanted to do an executive order. I'm not sure how legal that is, to send out stimulus checks. But what I'm hearing is that Nancy Pelosi doesn't want to have anything to do with that. And that's why we have to take back the House as Republicans, conservatives, to get some sensibility back in the House so that we can get rid of Nancy Pelosi and actually sit down at the table and negotiate with people. Because Nancy Pelosi for the last 4 years has done nothing but talk about impeachment, nothing but talk about Russia. And as you can see, she has no respect for the office of the president. And obviously that reflects back onto no respect for the American people, our citizens, who are the taxpayers that should be in charge of this country.
We have a president with a family man who has 5 children, 3 wives, and all 5 children are helping him. In some or other way, nobody is violent when it comes to being infected. They are helping him do his son-in-law, who is instrumental in this community. On the other side, Vice President, ex-President Biden, his son's feelings, making us laughing. Can you please comment, because this news is not being televised, this news is not being taken by the mainstream media. Can you comment on underrated and Biden's feelings, and then how they are part of your country?
Okay.
What he can
Yeah, okay, ready?
Yes.
So obviously, what's going on now,
Yash, you there? Okay, perfect.
Joe Biden and the Democrats,
Whew.
they making sure.
So Lalesh, should we start, right?
Yeah, a little bit, just one frame will go back one step.
अच्छा ठीक है, मैंने अपनी जगह चेंज करी तो तुझे तुम्हें पीछे का वो बैकग्राउंड चेंज करना पड़ेगा बाद में.
हाँ हाँ, ओ बैकग्राउंड आ जाएगा, ग्राफिक्स आ जाएगा.
हाँ वो तुम डाल देना.
चलो, ओके ओके, कैन कंटिन्यू.
Okay, ठीक है. So Yash, amazing views, amazing views. So tell me, why Yash? Why Edison people should elect you?
So the biggest piece which I bring to the Board of Education is the aspect that I'm the youngest candidate running. So currently there's 12 candidates, including myself, running for the Edison Board of Education. And I am the youngest candidate that's running, and the only candidate that's a recent graduate of our Edison public school system. And that's very important because I have the current knowledge and current understanding of our academic processes, our recreation processes, and the aspects around career as well. And the other aspect to this is I still have a very active eye and ear with our academic and recreational curriculum. I have friends that are faculty in our Edison public school system. I have friends that are recent graduates like myself in the Edison public school system. And I also have friends and close colleagues who are current students in our Edison public school system. So I have that relationship and that network to really understand what is truly required from an academic, recreational, and career standpoint for our students, and truly help our Board of Education and the Edison Public Schools to further strengthen its brand to take it to the next level when it comes to educational, when it comes to recreation.
Perfect. We all know like New Jersey is a crowded state, but Edison definitely is overcrowded. I mean, and I have heard from parents like, in Edison, definitely like, a lot of kids in school or a lot of kids in class. Do you think like all these changes currently that has happened, like the new way of learning, technology is being used a lot. Can you connect the dots between technology and overcrowding? Do you think that the use of technology will help in reducing overcrowding in future?
Absolutely. So definitely, so I'll start off with overcrowding first. Overcrowding is definitely at large in Edison. And as you had mentioned, overcrowding is just not an Edison issue. It's becoming a wide state issue as well for other schools. And that's one of the advantages that we have, right? We see overcrowding being a prominent issue, not only in Edison. So Board of Education in Edison, we can take that step forward to work with other Board of Educations in our state, right? We can work with other townships to see what kind of models are they adapting that can be more cost friendly, but are not at the sacrifice of the education of our students and at the sacrifice of the resources for our teachers and parents, right? So that's the first step. The second piece is overcrowding and remote learning. So for me, I see it as why has remote learning not been something that's been advocated for and put into our system previously, right? College, if you look at college education, many college classes are remote, online classes, right? So we can definitely incorporate that model, at least with upperclassmen in high schools, maybe with juniors and seniors, to do this kind of education, because this can help them be better prepared for college, but also help us resolve some of our overcrowding problems, because remote learning can definitely relieve the Board of Education with overcrowding, relieve the teachers, relieve the students with some of the overcrowding issues that may be faced. But at the same time, I feel that we should not completely depend on remote learning for the education of our students, because for me, the aspect of a student-teacher relationship is irreplaceable, because that's what truly brings out the experience and that understanding for students when it comes to face-to-face understanding, face-to-face experiences for our students, but also for the teachers, because teachers can more accurately and effectively teach the students when it comes to in-person teachings, in-person education. But that does not mean that we should fully depend on it as well, right? I think that we should become innovative in our educational teachings. I think we should become innovative when it comes to the student-teacher relationship. We should try to build off of it. We should try to continuously improve in terms of remote learning, different kinds of digital learnings. The entire world is moving towards a more digital, a more tech-driven platform, right? And education is something that's definitely in that tier, in that spectrum. And I think Board of Education in Edison should definitely explore those options without sacrificing the student-teacher relationship, because that's very, very important, not only for the teachers, but also for our students when it comes to learning.
Definitely. Now there is another issue that, like, when we talk, we discuss taxes. New
Right.
Jersey, or specific places in New Jersey, like specific towns in New Jersey, have higher taxes. Edison, Scotch Plains, like all these, because amazing school district.
Right.
Do you think, like, shifting to technology, or maybe this is a future, like, hybrid or using technology more, as you said, do you think that will affect the taxes a little bit? Do you think it is foresee? Like, do you think so?
So taxes and different ways of learning are definitely something that are correlated. So I'll start off from the educational standpoint. When it comes to different and innovative ways of learning, any kind of new addition that's being put into place can replace an addition that's already built into the budget of the school system. So first and foremost, I think before putting in any innovative way of learning, I think we should budget and we should scrutinize the budget of the school system further to ensure that it's built into our current core budget, right? Because the way that should be done is, first we should scrutinize the budget to see what this new addition will replace, because we don't want to increase taxes for our taxpayers, right? But at the same time, we don't want to sacrifice the education of our students and the resources of the parents and teachers. So the biggest thing we need to do is we need to fight and we need to work together as BOE members with the superintendent, with his or her administration, and determine where can we budget for this innovative way of learning. That's the first piece. The second piece is, how can we make sure that we are getting the appropriate and accurate funding from our county freeholders and our state officials? Because I can tell you right now that Edison, being one of the best public schools in our state, is not getting the resources that it truly requires from its county, from its state. So I want to make sure, and I wish to be an advocate and an outspoken individual on behalf of our Edison public school system to ensure that we're getting the right funds and the right resources from our county freeholders and our state officials to incorporate these new ways of learning and these new curriculums, these new academic platforms, the new recreational platforms, so that we don't have to raise taxes in Edison, right? We have supporters who are supporting our fabulous Edison public school system. And I think that we should advocate for that, being one of the best public schools in the state. So that's one of the best things I believe we can do. And I think that we should ensure that we have exhausted all of these resources, working with our state, scrutinizing the budget, working with our county freeholders, working at all and every possible route of ensuring that new ways of learning are being put into place, new recreational platforms are there, new resources are available for our students, parents, and teachers before raising any taxes. Because I feel that there's many different routes that we can take before we truly need to raise taxes for our community members.
Rightly said, definitely. Otherwise, every year increase in taxes is a thought. Every year it comes after tax returns. It's okay. Next year taxes will increase. But yeah, good thought, Yash. So, like, obviously, like, all the leaders work for the communities. So what do you think, as for your vision or your belief, to make that relationship stronger? Board of Education member relationship with the community. What you can do to build that gap?
Right. So the first and foremost thing that I wish to bring to the Board of Education is that mindset and the perspective that the Edison Board of Education should not work in a silo, right? Mm-hmm. We should work and partner and build trust with our mayor, our council members in Edison, our Edison Municipal Administration. And though Board of Education members cannot legally work with different boards or committees in our Edison Municipal Administration, we can definitely attend as citizens in these meetings, right? And I wish to continue doing that. I wish to continue going to our planning board meetings, continue going to our zoning board meetings, continue going to our council meetings, and being an outspoken individual as a resident, and speak for the needs and necessities of the students, the teachers, the parents, and express to them and work in alignment with them to ensure that the Board of Education is in the picture, is in their thought process, is in their decision making when it comes to different kinds of initiatives that they're putting into place. For example, if a planning board or a zoning board is giving permission for a new apartment complex to be built. I wish to ensure and bring in that idea that, we're facing an overcrowding problem in our Edison public school system. Have some kind of perspective, and please, humbly request to them that they should think from the perspective of the students too, and the Board of Education, and use some of the available real estate in Edison for possibly building a new school, or utilizing that real estate, or utilizing some current established real estate for recreation, for academic purposes, multi-purposes, for students, for teachers, for parents, that can help alleviate some of the pain that we're facing with overcrowding, right? And working together as a community like that. And also encouraging the rest of the community members, the general community members that are parents, but also community members that are actively involved with the Board of Education, to come and become outspoken members and bring light to these situations that are happening. Because many of the things that are happening with the BOE, with our council, with our municipal administration as a whole, many folks don't have light to that. So bringing that encouragement and motivation for folks to attend these meetings and bring light to the situation is the biggest thing I would like to bring.
Definitely, definitely. I was thinking, like, there is sometimes, like, I wanna know, like, obviously, like, you guys are sitting in the Oval Office, basically, of Edison. But sometimes, what is the role that board plays in a direct role that board plays with the district? Like, my kid goes to school, that school, like, what role a board member will play directly in the district, school district?
So the way that the Board of Education functions is at a very high level. So there's a superintendent and his administration who are the true leadership of the Board of Education. They are the individuals who help manage and support the teachers, the students, and the parents on a day-to-day basis. The Board of Education, the board members of the Board of Education is an additional function and a guiding tool to help when it comes to spending, when it helps to make larger decisions, bigger decisions that will affect the entire school district as a whole. So the way that they're functioning right now is we're a Board of Education, the superintendent and his administration and the board members work together to make the larger decision makings, the larger decisions when it comes to spending of the taxpayer money, adding more support functions to the superintendent and the administration, and basically helping with these large decisions to ensure that the Edison public school systems are running effectively, running smoothly, and that the superintendent, his administration, and all the stakeholders like the students, parents, and teachers have all the resources they need to function actively, appropriately, and smoothly. So that's the overall function. But what I feel is additionally necessary is I feel that Board of Education members need to play a very active role in our public schools. And that's what I wish to bring as well. I wish to bring that idea and that presence as a board member in our high schools, our middle schools, and our elementary schools, right? Building in that presence, sharing with them my journey as a board member, but more importantly, hearing the thoughts of the teachers, the students, and being a presence for them, building that level of comfort, building that level of network access so that we can work together. It's and just like you mentioned, many people feel that the Board of Education is like the Oval Office, right? We want to go away from that stereotype. We want to work together as a community. We want to not be the Oval Office, but we want to be an office that the door for everyone is always open, for students, for teachers, for parents. Encourage the community to come to us by being there for the community, becoming involved with our students, becoming involved with our parents and teachers, and giving back to the community by working with them hand in hand, ensuring that no child is left behind and that every child is given the opportunity to pursue the passions and the dreams that they wish to pursue, and incorporating all of the resources that we can give to them to making sure that happens.
Definitely. I'm very impressed with the way, you want to bring the community together and the new way of thinking. That's where, all the young and energetic ideas are coming up from you. I'm really impressed with that. So
Thank you.
say you are elected, and our best wishes definitely with you. What do you want to accomplish in next 3 years? A lot of ideas have already been given, but what else, you want to go overall?
Right, right. So the biggest and the most important piece I'd like to start with is the aspect of bringing the focus of the Board of Education back to our students, right? And the way that I wish to do that is I wish to bring in my mindset by working with the experienced leadership on the Board of Education, bringing in that perspective of current academic processes, current recreational processes, and current knowledge when it comes to careers, and working in alignment with the current policies that we have to basically create that perspective of continuous improvement, right? And bringing in the idea and bringing in the mindset of continuous improvement will help us build stronger partnerships and trust with our municipal administration, with our county freeholders, with our state officials. And by building this, bringing these fresh ideas, bringing in these business cases, these use cases to them, will help us resolve many of the issues like overcrowding, help us start bringing in the heavier focus on the mental health of our students and the resources that teachers and parents can be given for the betterment of and ease of the students and the development of the students, but also the ease for themselves in ensuring that they are helping the students at the maximum potential that they can help the students. So
Def-
really the goal and the objective is bringing in the mindset of bringing the focus to our students and also working together as a community for the students, right? Board of Education is a fantastic function for helping build the curriculum, the recreation for Edison Public Schools and the students and its stakeholders. But the mindset is to work together as a community, have all of the open communication, build the transparency, and have the effective decision making so that we can maximize the value of our taxpayers' dollars together, right? Because there's togetherness, there's community, there's working together. These are the core words, these are the golden words that need to be brought to the Board of Education so that we can really strengthen our brand, which will help our students, in our public schools. This will help our students get into fantastic colleges or whichever route or career they wish to continue, and that they're getting the best of the best at all costs. Because fortunately, I was given this opportunity. I was given the opportunity to attend such a fabulous countywide high school, which is ranked #1 in the state. And I wish to bring the same opportunity, the same level of doors and opportunities for our students to making sure that they are able to pursue whichever passion, whichever opportunity they would like in life.
Definitely. That's definitely true. So so closing statement, Yash, what do you think our voters should know?
So we're in a big voting season. It's presidential election, and I would like to encourage everyone to vote, vote, vote. Voting is the most important thing you can do. Everyone's voice is very important. Every single vote counts in voting in general. And I would like to request all viewers and all supporters to please vote column 3 for Yash Pandya for Edison Board of Education. That's column 3. I would like to request for everyone's support to bringing the focus of our Board of Education in Edison back to our students, to truly help our students and help our Board of Education and help our Edison Public Schools be taken to the next level to become the best in class in our state and even our country. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Yash. It was so nice talking to you, understanding your beliefs and understanding your vision. Our best wishes. Best wishes from Mana TV International to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mana TV. Thank you, all viewers, and thank you for giving me the platform to express my candidacy. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.